If you're a real estate investor and are wondering how to raise and leverage private money to make more profit on every deal, then you're in the right place. On Raising Private Money, we'll speak with new and seasoned investors to dissect their deals and extract the best tips and strategies to help you get the money, because the money comes first. Now here's your host, Jay Conner.
How to find deals that you ordinarily would not have, and how to find private money that you ordinarily would not have by using BNI. So if you don't know what BNI is, BNI stands for Business Networking International. What is Business Networking International? What it is, how it works. And my lands, isn't finding deals a hot topic today? Because if your market is like my market, there ain't nothing in the multiple listing service that you can buy or you want to buy, or there's nothing in there, period, because there's no inventory. That's the way it is in my market and most markets that I visit with our mastermind family members and our platinum members. And so there's never been a time more important than to have lead sourcing, that is motivated seller leads that are from owners that do not have their properties in the multiple listing service. And so how do you find those? Well, there's all kinds of ways to find motivated sellers. I mean, I do a lot of Google leads, I do Facebook ads, I do direct mail, I do outbound calling. But this thing called networking, talk about, light on the cash, but heavy in leverage on your time and your investment of time. This is a way you can get leads that you otherwise wouldn't have, and private money as well. So that's our topic for today. All right. As a mentor of mine told me years ago, it's now time to stop the gab and get on the pad. So get your notepad ready, because I'm going to give you some actionable items. I'm going to give you foundational information right now on what in the world Business Networking International is all about. And, in our Mastermind and Platinum groups, we really drill down on this big time. But I'm not just talking about Business Networking International. I'm talking about any kind of networking group or any kind of group that may give you a networking opportunity. So first, let's start with BNI. BNI, standing for Business Networking International, first of all, has given me over $1 million. I lost count to the number of deals that I got over the years. And here's the way it works. BNI is specifically in existence for the purpose of sharing leads with each other in your local group. Some areas will have more than one BNI. Morehead City's got a population where we live of 8,000 people. Our county has got 65,000. My target market is 40,000. I mean, we got a BNI as small as we are. And so the way BNI works is it is not in existence for the sole purpose or primary purpose of civic service, of raising money for good causes in the area. It is a business organization. Now, for example, unlike Rotary, and by the way, Rotary and civic groups play a big part into our networking as well as to what we do. But I'm focusing right now on networking groups. With BNI will actually only allow one person per profession. In contrast to the Rotary Club. The Rotary Club, they'll give you a professional title, but if there's another person in the Rotary Club that's got your professional seat, then they'll make up a seat name for you, right? If you want to come in and serve the community. But BNI, there truly is only one realtor, which is always a very, very important seat. There truly is only one real estate attorney, if there's one in there. There's only one financial planner. There's only one electrician, one plumber, and you get what I'm getting at. One landscaper, one water softener, person, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so with each seat only being occupied by one person, then there's absolutely no conflict of interest. There's no direct competitors in the B&I group in your local area. So the way the meeting works is it typically is either an hour or a 90-minute meeting. That depends on your local chapter that you have. And so the format of the meeting after the welcome, most B&Is will have like an educator that's assigned to give a 3 to 5 minute educational moment on how to be a better networker. And of course, I believe all of you would agree there's a direct correlation between your network and the value of your network directly correlating to your net worth, right? The most valuable assets we have are our relationships, period. Not your checkbook balance, but your relationships, right? So the format of the meeting, you have an educational moment, and then every week during the meeting, you go around the room, and each person, depending on the group, has either got 45 seconds, 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds to introduce yourself and to tell your fellow members who you want to get in front of. What kind of leader you're looking for. So everybody does that. And then also at each meeting, there typically is a 15 to 20 minute highlighted presentation by one of the members. So when it's your turn on that, you don't have 60 seconds or 90 seconds. You got 15 or 20 minutes to tell your whole story. Now, we have Platinum and Mastermind members that have filled the seat as a real estate investor most of the time. I can pretty much promise you, we'll hear from others here in this session, I can pretty much promise you there's not another real estate investor like that seat in the group. So in all likelihood, there's probably going to be a good chance that you're going to be able to be accepted into the group. And so then during the meeting, you actually pass leads to each other. So think about this and imagine what would it be like to have 20 other, 18 other, 25 other fellow members in your local B&I that are giving you leads for the type of business you're looking for. Now, I'll just give you a little side note here. In B&I, if you fill the seat as a real estate investor, then obviously you're going to want to have a clear understanding with the realtor in that group so they do not perceive you as a competitor, right? Where that would be a collaborative and synergistic relationship between you and the realtor. And so you're getting leads of people that want to sell their house, right? Well, how does that work with the realtor? Well, if you're doing a relationship with that realtor, any lead, here's one way you could work it. Any lead that you get in B&I from one of your fellow members, then if you buy that house, since it came from a B&I member, you can tell your realtor, hey, any lead I get here in B&I, you're going to get the listing if I decide to put it in the multiple listing service. So all kinds of ways that you can work together in a collaborative way. And first of all, I'll just tell you, on the big picture, when you have an abundance mindset, there is no competition and there are no competitors. It can all be a collaborative relationship and working together. So now, of course, this what works is when you have the right mindset of being a giver. A gentleman by the name of Ivan Meisner established and created and started B&I way back when. And he's written some fantastic books on networking. I recommend you get his networking books. They will make you a better networker very, very quickly. Ivan, I-V-A-N, Meisner, M-I-S-N-E-R. So, and by the way, just as a reminder, use the chat if you've got any questions coming to mind on networking and you've got a networking experience or story that you want to share. So be sure and use the chat as we come along here. So since the philosophy that Ivan Meisner put into BNI, here's his philosophy. It's called giver's gain. Giver's gain, which means you come into this group not seeking to get, you come into the group seeking to give first, leading with value, serving, offer to volunteer. Ask the president and the people that are running the group, how can you serve in this group? Because as you know, the first is last and the last is first. You start serving, then you're the cream of the crop. You rise to the top. So, excuse me, how do you serve? Well, the main way you serve is you start bringing leads to your group. Well, for example, if you're flipping houses, right? If you're flipping houses or you're buying houses or whatever, do you need a water softener service? Do you need a landscaper? Do you need another relationship with a realtor? Do you need another real estate attorney relationship? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, there's a lot of people in the local BNI that you can have a symbiotic relationship with because of the business that you're already in, right? And you know, in BNI, you actually learn how to make introductions. You just don't give leads. Like one of the most important things I learned years ago, being an active, engaged BNI member and valuable BNI member, is before I gave a lead, and here's a writer downer, before I gave a lead at my BNI meeting, I would call up the person that I'm going to be referring to, you know, the water softener service or whoever. And I'd say, hey, I just want to let you know there's somebody I think that would be valuable for you to talk to. And I just want you to know, or you might want to ask permission. Can I have permission to give your contact information to my friend that's in XYZ business? And I think it would really be valuable for you to talk to them. I think they could serve you, or at least it's worth you considering. And so here's the most sweetest sound in any language to your fellow BNI or networking member. Here's a writer downer. The most sweetest phrase they love to hear. Let's say that Crystal and I are in the local networking group. And I come up to Crystal and I gave her a lead on a lead sheet. And BNI actually tracks the dollars that have been referred in the group. And I walk up to Crystal, I say, Crystal, I just want you to know that a friend of mine named Norman, I really think Norman would benefit from your services. And I just want you to know I've already talked to Norman, and here's the sweet words. Norman is expecting your call. So it's called opening the door for your fellow networking member, right? So get the door open of the referral before you actually, you know, hand it off. So that's sort of just a feel. So I wanted to set the stage as to what this BNI thing is. Now, how do you get private money? Well, I'm not standing up in front of the group talking about private money ordinarily. Private money comes about in what's called the one-on-ones. Well, what in the world's a one-on-one? I'm going to let Crystal or Eric, Banjo, or Kenneth or Erica, I'm going to let you tell them about what the one-on-ones are. But private money is sort of in the back door that comes about from the relationships. All right, enough of my introductory comments, but I want everybody to understand what this thing is we're talking about. With that, Kenneth, you're going to be up first. So Kenneth, just so y'all know who Kenneth is, Ken came into Mastermind and Platinum actually officially in October.
That was July.
Oh, was it July? Time flies by. So Kenneth came in July or June. And so, I mean, he's just off to the races. He's out there in Abilene, Texas. He'd already been doing some real estate investing, but nonetheless, Kenneth just recently joined BNI. Kenneth, I know a little bit about your experience, but I don't know the whole story. So, Kenneth, here's what I want you to do: tell your story, tell your experience, and share with people takeaways. What are the lessons learned that you have learned so far from being in BNI?
Okay. Well, it's funny that we're talking about this because I'm on my cell phone texting right now because the president of my chapter, BNI chapter, is texting me requesting a one-on-one tomorrow morning. And it just so happens he's a certified financial planner and is responsible for about $100 million that he invests for people. And when I first joined, he was a little skeptical about what it is I was doing with real estate investing and the private money. And just with a very short 5-minute conversation, I quickly put his mind at ease. And now he's requesting a one-on-one with me, and he's like, wow, that sounds really interesting. It's not at all what I thought it was. This sounds great. I'm interested in hearing. And so this is actually the second financial planner that I've spoken with from BNI, as for a different BNI chapter, because there's only one in each. I do just want to very briefly say that I started off here in PMA, and they kept talking about some Platinum Plus master people. I didn't know. I figured I would like to be a master at something.
Hey,
So
look, we just changed Mastermind Family to Master People. I love it.
yeah. So yeah. So I started asking questions, and I said, what in the world is this Platinum Plus? What does that mean? I just know that they're answering all the questions. So I started where you are, and came into the family, and that's what you need to realize. It's the family, and Crystal said that earlier. And I came to private money because of Jay. I was really interested in PMA with Chaffee and his engineering background, but the one thing that kept drawing me back, because I'm medical as well, I spent 20 years in anesthesia. I'm a nurse with a doctorate degree in anesthesia. Is I kept hearing over and over and over every time that Crystal would say, I was an occupational therapist in leadership. I have 23 years experience and I've did all this. I made so much money, but I just ran my life to death, and my job is raising my family. And so these are real people, and they're wonderful people, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So maybe you'll join us. So
Thank you for sharing your experience, Kenneth. Go ahead.
I'd never heard of BNI ever. So being in medicine, and particularly in anesthesia, I don't take referrals. I don't need networking. People come in, whatever comes in the door, we take care of. Now, surgeons need referrals, but anesthesia does not. So I'm not used to that at all. This is very new to me, and I joined about 2 weeks ago. And what I've learned is, and I'm so glad that I get to correct Jay Conner, the main man, because I learned the difference between a lead and a referral. I would say, oh, I've got this deal. Yeah, I've got this lead came in, and someone referred it to me, and I use those terms interchangeably, and they're not the same thing. Leads are they may be qualified or unqualified leads. Hopefully you're getting at least qualified, but they're only between two people. Someone just sends you a lead. They send you a name. They send someone who may be in the market for what you have, that you could help them solve a problem. A referral, which is what BNI is really based on, is to refer people to each other, involves three people. And Jay did give that example. He said he would call the other member and say, I have this person for you, which is a lead, and they are expecting your call. A referral requires three people. It requires the lead and then the two other people who are exchanging the lead. So a referral is so much higher quality. They are highly qualified leads that are exchanged between two people who are referring business to each other. And the money and the opportunity that is the opportunity, the value that is there is from a referral versus a lead is incredible. It's incredible. So you can buy leads. You guys know you can buy lists, you can get leads, you can just send out direct mail, you can cold call. That's not what BNI is about. So I have now I know that I have about 8 leads that have been qualified, and I'm currently working 3 referrals. And it's actually a kind of a trifecta, because myself as the real estate investor and our general contractor of the group and our realtor, all 3 of us are working and referring to each other. In fact, just yesterday, we walked a property that it was me, the realtor, and the contractor. All 3 of us are BNI members and passing referrals, and we were all there at the same time. So it's a wonderful relationship. And here's the thing. I've got a sub-2 deal, which we're not really talking about sub-2 today, but taking over payments. It's just creative financing. And I've got other owner financing with 0 down, so I could potentially get in this with 0 money. Here's the key. This is the difference between a lead and a referral. These are referrals. So the people referring this lead to me, I now have a position of authority and what's the word? There's a trust. I have trust. So these people are telling them that when this guy says that he's going to take over your payments, he's going to take over your payments. When this guy says, if you'll owner finance to carry the note, he's going to make your payment. He's going to service the loan. And if he does not take care of my clients, then he will be removed from BNI. We have a strict code of ethics, and we have to service each other well. That's what we're there to do. We're there to serve. Givers gain. We give. We're not there to take. We're there to give. So I'm immediately placed in a very high position, respectable position. And I honestly feel that these 3 creative financing deals are going to get across the finish line because they were referred specifically through BNI and my relationship with those individuals.
And all this within 2 weeks.
2 weeks, absolutely. And there's more deals. I just told them, hey, I said, we got those other 4 deals. We're just going to have to wait because I've got 110,000 of private money burning a hole in my pocket, but I can't buy all of them right now. I can only manage. Let's just do 3 and then see what we can do with the others. But yeah, I've got other referrals sitting in the pipeline. So it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Are you feeling inspired by the knowledge you gained in this episode? Then head over to jconner.com/moneyguide. That's jconner.com/moneyguide and download your free guide that shares 7 reasons why private money will skyrocket your real estate investing business right now. Again, that's jconner.com/moneyguide to get your free guide. We'll see you next time on Raising Private Money with Jay Conner.